Whoops. Let me also edit the stream because apparently I... What's up, Mike Rodriguez? How you doing? What's up, Mike Rodriguez? Whoops. I had a pretty good weekend. How was your weekend, Jenna? I'm glad you're doing well, Mike Rodriguez. Glad you're doing good. Got a couple of pieces of news. So I want to talk about the goofy shit that Rick Santorum said. But I'll be right back first. I'm going to get right to the news when I get back. I'm just going to step outside for like 30 seconds. If you guys don't mind hanging tight for just a minute, I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Hang on. What's up, Yurameshi? Just had to step out for a sec. So, what's up, Yurameshi? What's up, Mike Rodriguez? What's up, Jenna? Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Yikes. Oh, excuse me. All right, so news at time. Rick Santorum said some goofy shit. Here it is from The Guardian. Was I sipping a Chick-fil-A milkshake? No, I was sipping a delicious large root beer from Chick-fil-A. I'm a bad activist. I gave money to Chick-fil-A. So, I'm a selectivist. one might say. Perhaps you might call me an armchair activist or a keyboard warrior. You literally just got back from there? That's funny. So, anyway, about this Rick Santorum goofiness. Outrage among Native Americans after ex-senator tells right-wing students conference that colonists birthed the nation from nothing. So while this is insulting to Native Americans for sure, strawberry no whipper cherry. Oh, so we're all slacktivists tonight. We're all sipping on that Chick-fil-A. Prime capitalists. We're all exercising our capitalist tendencies. Anyway, so while they straight up genocided the Native Americans to fucking make what they consider to be the nothing, what they also used to build up from the nothing was obviously the labor of a lot of those indigenous people, because a lot of them were black. But also, clearly, obviously, you see what I'm getting at. You understand where I'm going with this. African Americans, as you might call them if you are a liberal. The African American from African America. But black people, African slaves, you know. But anyway. The former U.S. Senator and CNN political commentator Rick Santorum has sparked outrage among Native Americans and prompted calls for his dismissal by telling a right-wing students' conference that European colonists who came to America birthed a nation from nothing. There was nothing here. I mean, yes, we have Native Americans, but candidly, there isn't much Native American culture in American culture, Santorum told the ultra-conservative Young America's Foundation Summit, entitled Standing Up for Faith and Freedom, and shared by the group to YouTube. Which is silly because, like, there's, like, so many just, like, actual, like, cities that are named after, like, the river I grew up playing in was called the Patapsco River. Like, there's so much indigenous shit that was, like, stolen to create American culture. That's what is, like, so silly about that statement. It's kind of gross, honestly. But, we came here and created a blank slate. We birthed the nation from nothing, he said. Santorum's comments effectively dismissing the millennia-long presence of Native Americans and the genocide inflicted on them as the Christian settlers transformed and expanded their colonies into the United States of America angered many within the Native American community and beyond. The erasure of native people and histories which existed before and survived in spite of a white supremacist empire. What? Is a foundational sin of... Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I read that wrong. Honestly, our food, too. I took a food history course in college. Yeah, I mean, so much of the food, for sure. Yeah, especially in the South. But, the erasure of native people and histories which existed before and survived in spite of a white supremacist empire is a foundational sin of a make-believe nation, the activist Nick Estes, a citizen of the Lower Brule Sioux tribe and host of the Red Nation podcast, said on Twitter. Yeah, clapped him. According to Rick Santorum, the U.S. was founded as a Judeo-Christian theocratic state, which is wrong. Just, like, fractally wrong. There is no part of that sentence that you could focus on that's, like, actually technically correct. It's just, it's completely wrong from start to finish. He might be right about that, but the idea that the first colonizers escaped religious persecution is laughable. Invasion was an economic enterprise for God, glory, and gold. Clapped him. In his remarks, Santorum, a two-term U.S. Senator for Pennsylvania and a twice-failed candidate for the Republican Party's presidential nomination. Damn, yeah, just throw that in his resume. He ran for president, he failed, did not get voted, did not get elected, twice. Likened the colonization of native lands to an act of religious freedom. Nice. Nice. Fucking dickhead. I don't know of any other country in the world that was settled predominantly by people who were coming to practice their faith, Santorum said. They came here because they were not allowed to practice their particular faith in their own country. Oh, what a fucking dumbass. Others were outraged but not surprised by the comments of Santorum, who joined CNN as a senior political commentator in 2017. Rick Santorum is just saying what the majority of Americans silently believe. The only real history is U.S. history, said Brett Chapman, a Native American attorney and descendant of Chief Standing Bear, the first Native Indian to win civil rights in the U.S. Everything centers around it. Many claim to appreciate and respect Native history, yet know nothing about it. Let's not act like he's some lone wolf out there on this. And I mean, that's facts. Like, this all sounds like shit that the maybe not the majority, but a decent enough size of the country actually legitimately believes that, like, the United States is just some, like, really God-loving, Jesus-y white people who, like, just kind of happen to own slaves a little bit, just fuck with slavery a little bit, just a teeny bit, you know what I'm saying? Not too much, but just as a treat every now and then, you know, just a little bit of slavery. And they just really wanted to love God more than anyone else in the world. So, yeah, they came here and God just loved them more than anyone else in the world too. So they got to keep all the land. And there were some people here or something, I guess, but we don't really know what happened to them. Yeah. The Cherokee writer Rebecca Nagel pointed to CNN's lack of Native American commentators while giving a platform to Santorum, who has previously made offensive and false claims about other minority communities. On Monday, the Native American Journalists Association cautioned Native American and Alaskan Native reporters from working with or applying for jobs at CNN in the wake of continued racist comments and insensitive reporting directed at Indigenous people. Of course, last week, a CNN host incorrectly identified Minnesota's Lieutenant Governor, Peggy Flanagan, a member of the White Earth Band of Ojibwe, as a white woman. Yikes. The network has yet to correct its mistake. Politicians also weighed in. Seriously, is anyone surprised to hear this hot garbage coming from Rick Santorum? Jaime Harrison, chair of the Democratic National Committee, said in a tweet. Nothing was here, no Native American culture and American culture. America hasn't changed. Mark Pocan, Democratic congressman for Wisconsin, was even more critical. Native and indigenous nations lived, governed, and thrived here before their land was stolen and they were murdered in a mass genocide, you ignorant white supremacist, he wrote. That's facts. He cooked them. Meanwhile, Nick Knudsen, executive director of Demcast USA, a digital hub of democratic opinion and online activism, said it was long past time for CNN to cut ties with Santorum, whose extreme views have become a lightning rod for controversy in recent years. And see, it's weird reading this kind of shit and, like, this being considered, like, news or whatever, because I don't even watch CNN like that. Like, I'll watch CNN here, like, with you all for content, so you can, like, see my reactions and shit, and we can have discussions about it, but, like, I don't actually like politics. Like, I don't enjoy the theater. Like, it creates good content, and in a sense I can use that as a segue to talk about the actual shit that affects people in this country, like the actual shit beyond just these, like, fucking weird ass people in their suits and shit in DC or whatever. But, like, I don't know, this shit's mad weird. Like, I just feel so far removed from this, and it's weird to me when people are, like, surprised when they find out that the news is racist. In 2015, he insisted the U.S. Supreme Court would not have the final say on same-sex marriage. The same year, he said he regretted his comments from a decade earlier comparing homosexuality to bestiality. Nice. In 2018, shortly after a former student killed 17 teenagers and staff at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, Santorum taunted survivors who formed themselves into gun reform campaigners. How about kids, instead of looking to someone else to solve their problem, do something about maybe taking CPR classes or trying to deal with situations that when there's a violent shooter that you can actually respond to that, he said on CNN State of the Union. That's fucking yikes, dude. What kind of heartless ass person do you have to be to, like, And I know I roast people on here, and I say some foul shit to people. Like I talk about fucking people's moms, talk about fucking people's baby moms, just like just whatever. But like to just straight up try to cook someone to just be like, haha, you survived a fucking mass shooting in your school as like something to flame someone with, like that's so wild. Like that's just like such a wild, it's like not even a flame, you know what I mean? Just like how would you even think to make that something to like try to cook somebody with? Like, haha, you didn't like fucking vigilante kill the dude that was like AR-15 spraying up all your friends and classmates. Like, what a fucking psychopath. The politician who claimed the Survivors March for Our Lives group was supported by Hollywood elites and liberal billionaires, later tried to distance himself from his comments, claiming that he misspoke. And see, that's cornball shit. At least when Destiny said that abolish the police was something that only white people talk about, at least he's just like doubling, quadrupling down on that shit. He's not going to pretend like, oh no, I misspoke. Like, he's just thoroughly committed to being a fucking moron on that talking point. So, like, that's one thing I can say. At least, I don't know. This shit's cornball. In a statement, the National Congress of American Indians, the nation's largest organization representing American Indian and Alaska Native groups, criticized the former senator. Rick Santorum is an unhinged and embarrassing racist who disgraces CNN and any other media company that provides him a platform, Fawn Sharp, the group's president, said. She said Santorum's assertion that settlers birthed the nation were wrong. What European colonizers found in the Americas were thousands of complex, sophisticated, and sovereign tribal nations, each with millennia of distinct cultural, spiritual, and technological development, she said. Hopefully, sophisticated and humane Native American philosophy will win out over the caveman mentality of people like Rick Santorum. Damn, cooked. CNN did not respond to a request from the Guardian for comment. Damn, rest in peace. In a brief statement to the Guardian issued through a spokesperson on Monday afternoon, Santorum said, I had no intention of minimizing or in any way devaluing Native American culture. But that, I mean, that's kind of what you did. That actually kind of was the like specific point of what you were saying, was it not? No, like even if there was shit here, it's not as important as like the white people American shit. I don't know, seems kind of wild. But that was that. We have apparently some new news involving the Breonna Taylor shooting. So, Attorney General Merrick Garland on Monday announced that the Department of Justice will open an investigation into the practices of the Louisville Metro Police Department in Kentucky. And make no mistake, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that absolutely nothing will come of this. Because it's just got to be like some stuff that's done for show to pacify the liberals until they feel like it's comfortable enough social climate for them to stop talking about it. You know what I mean? Like how after like LA riots and stuff, just like that's kind of the purpose of the liberal media, no? Is just like pacify even the more like empathetic and left-leaning portion of the center-right brainwashed population, right? And to like co-opt and defang any and all actual left movements. Got to get some news out to give them happy talking points for champagne brunch. Yeah, exactly. Like, but also they create that kind of subset of society with how they behave. You know what I mean? Because they have the larger amount of like funds and capital, so therefore in the system they have the more power, but that's what they choose to do, right? How's it going, Vulcan? The announcement comes days after Garland said the DOJ will investigate the Minneapolis Police Department following Derek Chauvin's conviction for the murder of George Floyd, whose killing in custody sparked global protests. a no-knock warrant and fired 32 bullets. Damn, they came in dumping the clip 360s, doing 360 clip dumps, mag dumps. Insane. Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, fired a shot at officers whom he has said he believed to be intruders. So he like did the one thing that all like super right-wing gun nut Americans like fantasize the most about, right? They just like fantasize about some stranger for whatever reason deciding to break into their house while they're home, knowing that this is America, so they probably have a gun. Or at least there is a non-zero chance that you get fucking blasted if you walk into their house, right? So this is what all these people fantasize about, just the one opportunity to fucking fire their little murder boner into another human being and kill them, right? And be able to legally get away with it. So he doesn't even like mag dump. It's literally just like kind of like a warning shot, like one quick pep, like, hey, I'm armed, shit's getting real in here, I don't know who the fuck you are. And they decided to just like 360 mag dump into the house. And they killed Breonna Taylor. Apparently the one police officer was just like not even looking into the apartment. He was just like trying to pre-fire like over the bushes or some shit like that, just like shooting indiscriminately into the building from the other side of the house. Like insane shit, just absolutely heartless. Garland said the investigation was spurred by a comprehensive review of public information. As with every Justice Department investigation, we will follow the facts and the law wherever they lead, Garland said. Grand jury indicted one of the officers in the raid, Sergeant Brett Hankerson, on wanton endangerment charges last year. His trial was delayed this month until 2022. Sheesh. Is he out and walking around? Until 2022? Because that's some shit. None of this news I'm reading wants to tell me whether he's in jail or out. So I'm just gonna hit the Boolean. Is Brett Hankerson. Why is Brett Hankerson married? The first thing though. Why people? I hate you people so much. Is Brett Hankerson in jail? He's released. So yeah, he's just like out walking around, doesn't even have a trial until 2022. So that's cool. Yep, he posted bail. I'm sure he didn't have to pay for that personally, because people send you money from around the world if you're a white supremacist scumbag. Well, not around the world, but like around the country. Sorry, it's been a long day. Taylor's death is among the most high-profile police killings in recent years and has prompted calls to rein in the use of no-knock warrants and other controversial tactics. Garland said the DOJ will take into consideration the terms of a $12 million settlement reached between Louisville and Taylor's family last year. The settlement requires the police department to undertake certain mandatory reforms. Justice Department pattern or practice investigations into police departments can lead to settlements or consent decrees between the DOJ and the department, often requiring independent oversight of the police and other changes. The DOJ under former President Donald Trump largely curtailed the use of consent decrees, but Garland reversed that policy earlier this month. President Joe Biden has pledged to pursue substantial reforms of the nation's policing through Congress. In a statement on Monday, Derek Johnson, the president of the NAACP, praised Garland's move. For far too long, killings at the hands of police have only led to one hashtag after another. But true justice comes with accountability and action, Johnson said. We applaud the Justice Department's new investigation into the Louisville Metro Police Department for the murder of Breonna Taylor and their ongoing practices. No police officer or police department is above the law. Yeah, I don't think anything's going to come out of that, though, like I said. unfortunately, that's not really how the feds or the police work. The point is low key, honestly, kind of to just like continue to kill black people, especially important, influential black people. So, on that note, on the topic of abolishing the police and why wanting to abolish the police being a liberal white thing is a fucking ridiculous take is uh I have some evidence, maybe perhaps contrary to that. I can't really English right now, but um anyway, what I'm trying to say is this is an example of some shit that makes that sound fucking stupid. And um if you're from a place like Baltimore, you understand why people want to say defund the police or abolish the police or whatever. It's because in certain parts of the country, and I always learn this about like devil's advocate like people and those sorts of things, is like they just generally are blissfully unaware or like do not understand or have they exist completely separate from actual like systemic poverty, like structural racism, like, and I can't even really say that because if you think about it, right, you explain this is all something that everyone is supposed to tacitly accept from their childhood, even like going on into life. There's like the I guess you could say microaggression would be like a proper term for it, but it's all shit that equals up into a larger view of the society you live in that makes you more pliable and willing to go along with the shit. But the starting point, or the thing that everybody I feel like universally complains about, or at least all the smart people that they use that like have really thought about how fucked up our system is, um, even marginally. Um, the way they feel about this is like being forced to choose what you have to do in terms of like going to college or whatever path, like going to trade school, whatever, like the fact you have to choose to do that at 18, like you have to figure your entire life out for the next what 60 years, well, or if you are generous 30 or 40, if you're the type of person, if you are even trained to think of the ways where hey maybe one day I'll retire, right? um but anyway, the fact that you have to choose what you have to do conceivably for the rest of your life at the age of 18 when you're like almost not even really fully an adult yet, in a world so complex that it's seemingly beyond fucking feudal type shit where you just have people pounding corn and producing all the things that the rich people get to enjoy, like the dukes and duchesses and vassals and lords and shit. But you have everyone in the world, or at least conceivably in the country, that's forced to choose what you have to do for the rest of your life at the age of 18. And you know, just from the area that you grew up in, right? The majority of the people that go to your school, maybe from your graduating class or whatever, it's been universally kind of decided, and not even just we all happen to go into this field, but like um I have family members that are doing this or currently do this, or I'm going to work with a family member, like working in a warehouse or like work for the post office, or all these different specific jobs, right, that are considered to be like blue collar working class, like just regular shit, right? That in and of itself kind of chips away at the idea of this like meritocracy, because you're taught to expect that if you just work hard enough, right, that you can do whatever you want, when that's really not the case. Even if you wanted to work super hard on your own, of your own individual power, there are just things that you will not be exposed to in terms of ways of thinking, or even if you want to get more like physical, I guess, with it, is just like opportunities through people that you'll meet that have the means and access to capital to where if you want to do like a startup business or something like that, you know a guy because you guys fucking went to elementary school, middle school together, and he would come over your house and play Sonic after school. Something completely fucking innocuous, but now you have this lifelong friend who's like owns restaurants and this type of shit. Do you get what I'm saying? So that type of stuff is not always considered a universal across the entire spectrum of everything that people have in terms of opportunities that are afforded to them. But included in that is the place where you live and how that place is viewed or treated by society at large, which is what will determine like the floor of how that particular area is treated or what is considered allowable in terms of social interactions in that area, right? So like it's acceptable to fucking kill people. Like it's acceptable for black people to kill police in these areas because they're probably all criminals anyway. And even though that's still not the job of a police officer, right? If somebody decided to rob the fucking Dairy Queen in their little podunk town, right? Even if they were robbing it at gunpoint, they would expect that the police would come and they would like call in the fucking SWAT team with the negotiators and the helicopters. You know what I mean? Fucking, and have like a 8-hour standoff trying to talk this person down, right? Until they all drop their rifles and come crying into the arms of the police officers. That's what people imagine that like police and SWAT and that type of shit do every day, right? They don't imagine that those types of weapons are literally just being used to fucking rob other drug dealers for their drugs to sell themselves so the police could sell the drugs. Like that type of shit is so far beyond the scope of what your average liberal or like well-to-do person's experience in like life in general, but in their vision of police is, you know what I'm saying? Like the type of shit that you would find out is done in the Baltimore City Police Department and the police departments across the country. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate you. The police said to Kenneth Walker upon seeing him, "Have you been hit by a bullet?" He said, "Him, no." The police said, "That's unfortunate." Yikes. It's much better to have people with a GED and no social skills to talk to hostage. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. But, yeah, like, so I've talked about the Gun Trace Task Force on this channel before here in the Baltimore Police. Miami SWAT or police straight used civilians as cover and killed the hostage to kill the threat. Oh, yeah. I'm sure they're dirty with it on some straight, like, Counter-Strike fucking noob CT. You know what I'm saying? They're hitting fucking 360 no-scopes on the hostages so they can get their sick kills, so they can get their sick 1v1s, you know what I mean? With their fucking breaded out ops and desert eagles and shit. Like that's what the police really are in real life. It's kind of wild. It's kind of crazy to think of it like that way, but that's really what they do. Is just like they're like, all right, get it together, team, and they're just in the police station or whatever with their little fucking AR-15s and M4s and straps and all the extra shit that the military gave them because they don't give a fuck. So they got their little tanks and shit, and they're like, hell yeah, we're gonna go fucking, I'm gonna go shoot me at like the good cops. We're talking about the good cops that you thinking are like the strict cops obeying the law, right? They're like, we're gonna go fucking shoot us some drug dealers today, some just basic street level fucking, like, you know, like the Batman memes where Batman just like beats the fuck out of people till they're cripple and they're just like a random fucking like Joker henchman that's probably never even been in the same room as Joker. You know what I mean? He just like bought weed off someone who had been gassed by Joker before and try to find out where Joker is, you know what I mean? Like imagine like the police doing that, but then just like straight up capping them on site. Just like like, all right, fuck it. Like we killed this guy and now the news is gonna cover for us because the news is just gonna like post some videos of them selling drugs or something. And the public at large is going to go, oh, okay, well, that's the police doing what the police are there to do, right? Just fucking kill black people. I mean, stop crime. But like, yeah, that's like the good cop, right? But the bad cop is just straight up, yeah, we're gonna fucking rob these drug dealers, right? We're gonna fucking steal their drugs, and then we're gonna sell drugs to people on the street in Baltimore Police Department uniform, in the Baltimore Police Department car. That's all paid for with taxpayer money. And fucking, it sounds like Spider-Man villain shit, right? That is the actual like fucking like Joker henchman shit, right? Where like you find out that fucking, I don't know, fucking Black Mask has fucking, henchmen working for the police department. Yeah, they're selling drugs. See, we're drugs dealers. See, yeah, and they're fucking. That's how they fund their massive like world taking over schemes. I guess I don't fucking know, but like that's what they would do, right? Is they would invade the police department and then sell drugs out of the police car to like children and shit. That's the type of shit that the police do, just like for fun, not even because comic animal themed villains are forcing them to. But anyway, I got into a tangent. This shit is supposed to defund the police because we're supposed to abolish the police. But this is the article on that from Baltimore Sun because it's a Baltimore thing. I feel like lots of black people would, if they're willing to put that there, I would feel like it's fairly easy or fairly safe to say that perhaps some black people support the defund the police position. Baltimore City having the racial makeup that it does, you know what I mean? So last week, Baltimore's Board of Estimates held its annual taxpayer night to discuss their preliminary fiscal year 2022 city budget released April 7th. I testified before the BOA with Communities United and other residents to demand a moral realignment of our city's budget priorities. This budget still calls for spending more on policing than on our schools and other things our communities really need, naturally, because that's how it works. You don't give the people in the area anything to actually help themselves with. You just fucking make the public outside of them expect that, well, they should just fucking like try harder. If they should have like known better than to be born poor and into a heavily policed and underfunded area. They should just fucking just pull themselves up by their bootstraps. You know what I mean? Just try really hard. If you try really hard, then maybe you can like manifest a vehicle or like a Wi-Fi hotspot that actually works or something. I don't know what these people believe, honestly, or what they pretend to believe anyway. The proposed FY 2022 budget increases police department funding by $28 million, more than was cut last June by the city council as thousands of us rallied and painted defund the police outside City Hall. Wild. Yo, what's up, Kuma? I hope that last week's guilty verdicts for the killing of George Floyd, whose cruel murder sparked the grassroots wave of actions questioning police budgets in Baltimore and nationwide, remind Mayor Brandon Scott and the BOE just why last year's police cuts were made. Baltimore's budget already exceeds per resident spending on police in 72 of the biggest cities in the U.S. fiscal year 2021. It was the first year in recent memory when Baltimore police spending actually went down instead of up. Yo, what's up, Just JCE? It's good to see you. Baltimore's spending on police increased 173% between 1965 and 2005. Oh, it's Looney. I figured it was you, but I wasn't gonna, like, I don't know why I would have guessed that. But you had a different name before. Yeah. Baltimore spending on police increased 173% between 1965 and 2005, even when adjusting for inflation, accounting for a larger and larger share of the city budget. Between just 2012 and 2018, the police department budget grew 42%. Meanwhile, the city's population has declined from 939,024 in 1960 to 640,064 in 2005 to 593,490 in 2019. The I can't English, 2022 preliminary budget reserves a whopping $555 million for police. Wild. That's pretty wild, especially because we just read, the other day that police kind of have an enrollment problem. Like, police are quitting and stuff. So, like, if there's not as many police, why do they need so much money? It's weird. It's almost like they always want more money and will always take more money, especially when you offer them more money. It's weird. It's just like weird thing. I don't know. The new Mortal Kombat was fire. Yeah, the new Mortal Kombat was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It wasn't the best, and there was definitely some issues, but I enjoyed it for what it was. But anyway, let me finish this. Increasing spending to $965 per resident while cutting $12 million in general funds from city public schools, naturally. These are the choices being made despite predictions of historic lows in city revenue amid pandemic and financial crisis for so many. For every dollar spent on the police department, the city has allocated 50 cents to Baltimore City Public Schools, 20 cents to housing and community development, 11 cents to parks and recreation, 12 cents to the Office of Homeless Services, and 1 cent to address substance use disorders and mental health, when almost 3 times as many people die of overdose than murder in Baltimore. Interesting. It's almost like the police are also selling the drugs, and it's kind of systemically designed to be that way. Because it can't have gotten that way by accident. Nothing gets that fucking, like, terrible and focused by accident, right? It's almost like this is how this shit is supposed to be. Weird. Maybe, like, we should get rid of it. Enough is enough. Baltimore's bloated police budget is bleeding the city dry and cannot be justified by any rational reading of the data. Over the last several years, Baltimore has seen a relatively stable rate of violent crime, with arrest rates dropping by nearly 50% since 2014. The police department budget has continued to grow even as homicides spiked in recent years. Yet, the research shows that investments in drug treatment, mental health support, educational completion programs, preschool and summer jobs for youth, and supportive interventions for families in crisis have all proven to be less expensive and more effective in making communities safer. Imagine that. When you actually give people the resources to, like, do well, they do well. And then you don't have to fucking pay cops to murder them. You know what I mean? It's this weird thing. Our hashtag defund to refund campaign is gaining momentum for a 25% reduction in the city's current police budget, savings to be reinvested in schools and community needs that actually support health and safety. A 25% cut would bring Baltimore's police spending in line with the next most expensive city departments nationwide. As important, a 25% cut, about $137 million, is significant enough to help Baltimore meet its local increase in school funding, $161.5 million by 2030, required to receive almost $585 million more in state school funding, as promised under the blueprint for Maryland's future. So they could do this and actually get more money for schools. It seems kind of low, like the goal is to hit 161.5 million by 2030, and yet they're just like, yeah, here you go, police department, have 555 million fucking dollars. Like, holy shit, dude, it's so wild. Mayor Scott led the effort to cut $22 million from the police budget last June. We welcomed his recent announcement of a task force to help develop a 5-year plan to reduce the police budget and offer our assistance. This budget is an insult to his own words. Damn. Cooked. Right-sizing the police budget is essential to meaningful police reform and to reimagining the relationship between the city government and police with the city's most underfunded, overwhelmingly black schools, neighborhoods, and communities. We need to fix Baltimore's structural problem of an entrenched, ever-increasing police budget that consumes more and more of the city's discretionary spending year after year. Mayor Scott, the first step has to be to stop increasing it. Damn. So yeah, we should probably defund the police because they fucking whoops. They don't do anything to actually prevent crime when they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And the police commit crimes. Police get people hooked on drugs. The police create and support drug addicts and drug addiction as a social ill. The police incarcerate people who are addicted to drugs. The police think about how crazy it is. The police will sell you drugs that you're addicted to, and then they will take you to jail for doing the drugs that they just sold you, and then they'll just take your money and your drugs. So it's just an all-around bad deal, and we just like accept that. Some people support that because it only happens in specific areas, right? So like that doesn't happen. People don't get frequently arrested and locked up for powder cocaine at Wall Street, right? Even though we all know that Wall Street traders do fucking cocaine. Let's get real here. If you're awake, if you're like a truck driver, if you're a fucking fry cook at a restaurant, a high-end restaurant, like you've probably done cocaine. Let's not kid ourselves about people who stay awake for long periods of time, right? They've done some kind of stimulant, probably. People do drugs. I don't know how to explain this to you, but like a lot of your favorite athletes and like millionaires and people were doing fucking drugs. They were on PEDs. They were doing shit that was helping them do more of it than you would probably normally do on your normal, pudgy, squishy, mortal brain. You know what I mean? You need the fucking purest of pure cocaine to make yourself gamble with other people's money at the most optimum efficiency. But anyway, I'm going to play some Hunt now. That was all the news. I'm only going to play it for like a half hour though, because I'm tired. I worked overtime again today. The job now is like, at first I thought it was going to be a steady like 11 to 7, but it's more like 11 till question marks, which is cool. I don't mind doing that, but sometimes I get a little tired. Because my brain is too poor. I can't afford to do drugs. Drugs are expensive. Yeah, thanks for coming by, Jenna. Uh-oh. Why is this game taking so long to load? Oh, okay. Hello? Okay. Who's online? Cyber Ninja. Alright. Oh. I'm just gonna join up on the Discord. Yo, Kuma, you wanna play? You wanna play Kuma? I'm not gonna do a tournament tonight because I don't feel like staying up to midnight. $5 word. I'm probably gonna play some quick play then. I'm gonna play some quick play and get warmed up. Yeah, I'll play quick play. Actually, let's see what other models they gave me. Yeah, I'll go with that one. A found a match. I found a match, y'all. Don't worry, the wait's over. It's all good. Everything's gonna be okay. I found a match. I thought it was gonna give me a shotgun. I guess it gave me a pistol. I got a knife though, at least. The spawn animation, that's what a quick play looks like. That's pretty cool. You just get up off the ground. Oh, I hear someone. Lag. I'm gonna try and just stealth this clue. Oh, what the fuck? What happened to my Mosin? I guess I'll take this over that. Yeah, the whispering was someone close by. That's why I was, like, creeping around. Thought I heard somebody running next to me. In-game radius? I'm not sure. It's definitely within like 50 yards. So like they're not quite right on top of you. Oh, that's definitely... Hopefully they come towards me. What's up? Yeah, I must have not had my shotgun equipped. Yeah, it's lagging for me too. Up frame. About a little bit. Night, then I guess I'll just chill up for a minute, but downloading shit. Or maybe it's my PlayStation. At least I got it right. Nope, get plugged. for me tonight. I should have kept my shotgun. He ran out there with that Brocky. Thank you. But, nah, that's all good. I'm gonna join your Discord and see if it's too laggy to play. Ooh. I'm gonna try one more quick play, and then we can jump in together if you want.
Alright, sounds good.
I'm like looking at my stream, it's like 63%.
Because like the game would keep going and the audio's running.
I have no idea how to fix that though, is the other crazy part. This matchmaking is taking too long. I'm about to back out.
I'm good to do whatever you want to.
Alright, yeah, I'm gonna invite you. Hey, we both got the Romero axes.
Yep. Figured I'd go with that, We got dogs like right over there, don't we?
I think it's horse breath.
Seen an armored in front of you. We got lucky there's no water metals. Water
Yeah.
depth. Right there in that corner.
Wait, there's 20 of them too. Nice. I figured.
Oh, they spawned right on top of it. I bet.
I hear people nearby.
We don't want to fight them out here. We both got shotguns.
True. Shit, he's right on top of me. I blasted him with the shotty though.
I couldn't get the shot off.
Endless stream slideshow tonight. This shit is goofed. And I mean all the way goofed. Humming the music.
After that last one.
Same. Bless you.
Gun at him and didn't shoot, and I don't know why.
Dang. I shot him, but it didn't do enough damage. I was too far away with the shotgun.
So see, if I'd even just like grazed him, he probably would have gone down.
Feeling it's nighttime. Dang it.
Of course, it's nighttime. We're not on a corner, though. Never mind. I don't know how to read a map, apparently.
Southwest 240, I guess.
Got crows above the entrance. Yeah, let's hop a fence over here. Is it just the one dude?
No.
I can't tell if I dropped.
I just killed someone.
I think that's the person that I shot.
Let's grab the bounty. Shit, he's res him. Alright, one more.
I got the shot off that time at least. I swear. Brain's not there.
I bodied his friend. I ran up on him. I was like, fuck these flames. And I just bodied him while I was still on fire. But then I was in like a little dance with his teammate. And I was like,
I was standing in the entrance to the lair, ready to back you up, and someone cooked a perfect grenade and tossed it at me.
yeah, that sucks.
Like, oh, time to run. And then as soon as I had that thought, I was dead.
Night again.
But this time we really aren't on a corner. I set off that concertina armor. In the
Oh, okay. I thought it was getting hit. I thought it was. Alright.
There's 2 clues at this spot, so we might as well get the dogs. I swear, I hit that dog 3 times.
Oh my fucking god. I can't go out like that. One more.
How did the dog get us?
It wasn't a dog. It was another hunter that shot you. There was another hunter like that was close by that I knew was close, but I didn't know exactly where they were. But they were watching us struggle with the dog, I guess, and had shot us both.
I still don't know how that dog was alive.
I don't know if the metal ones, like if you knife their little metal part, it doesn't do anything, but I was shooting it too. It was just glitched out or something, I guess. So it's midnight. That might actually have to be my last one. It's midnight already.
Alright, man. You can take off. I'm gonna keep playing because I cannot. I'm live right now. I cannot let this be my last one.
Oh no.
Hell no.
Alright, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, have a good night.
Thanks for watching, everyone.